in a time-bound manner using the enormous possibilities that AI has to offer. To know more about the facility, I would now like to invite Dr. Vishwanath S., Senior Consultant, Medical Oncology, Apollo Cancer Center, for a welcome speech and to give us more insight into adopting new technologies to cross physical barriers. I welcome Dr.
Government of Karnataka, guest of honor, Dr. Sunita Reddy Madam, MD of HCL, Mr. Harshit Reddy, Director Group Oncology International, Mr. Dinesh Madhavan, President Group Oncology International, Dr. Manish Pattu, our CEO Karnataka Region, Apollo Hospitals, my colleague Dr. Vijay Agarwal, Senior Consultant Medical Oncology, several dignitaries of the dais, Dr. Yatish, Dr. Devdabra, senior consultants, colleagues, friends. It's a very novel area of medicine aimed at determining diagnosis and giving up experience from taking an appointment to receiving a personalized treatment. So as we navigate today's event, let's reflect on the adoption of newer technologies that has helped in overcoming physical barriers in cancer care. So technological advances have traversed through all the realms of oncology, from improving access to cancer care, diagnosis, treatment and prognostication. So the accessibility of cancer care has been...
Dinesh Gundurao, Honorable Minister for Health and Family Welfare, Government of Karnataka, Ms. Sunita Reddy, Managing Director, the Apollo Hospitals, Professor Vishwanathan, Senior Consultant and Academic Advisor, Medical Oncology, Apollo Cancer Centers, Dr. Vijay Agarwal, Lead and Senior Consultant, Medical Oncology, Apollo Cancer Centers, Mr. Dinesh Madhavan, Group President, Apollo Oncology and International, AHEL, clinicians, members of my Apollo and Apollo Cancer Centers family, members of the media and other valued guests. A new beginning in the first month of a new year is relatively a rare event, and it is my deep privilege to be here amidst all to celebrate a momentous occasion. And I would add that an advancement such as today's, the launch...
rather than getting all the patients to come to centralized institutions. And POC helps us there. So we'll walk through how we typically treat a cancer patient, or how the patient will go through the journey, both from POC as well as our quaternary center of excellence. So we'll now move to a patient who has just been diagnosed with breast cancer, over to the Precision Oncology Clinic, where one of our consultant colleagues, Dr. Amit Jain, is sitting. Dr. Amit, over to you.
Apollo POC HSR layout. So I'll be presenting a case which is a 55-year-old who makes
starting for this journey in Karnataka, and members of the dais, our doctors, members of the Apollo family and the press, thank you all for being here today. You know, so much has been spoken about what we do in terms of technology and what we do in terms of AI. But I really would like to take you through the journey of why we do it and who we are. Harshit spoke about, the impact that this would have on mankind. So when Chairman came back from the US, it was, all of us came back, it was around the time that Apollo 11 landed on the moon. And Neil Armstrong said, this is one small step for man, but a giant leap for mankind. And this is truly the vision that, that we've always had. We started in 1983 with one single hospital, but we called it Apollo Hospitals. And because we believed that India needed healthcare, and it needed quality healthcare, and it needed healthcare at 1/10 the cost, international cost, but still delivering quality healthcare outcomes. 30 years ago, we began our journey with cancer, oncology, and when we began, we started this hospital in Tenapet, which we called, first we called it Apollo Cancer Hospital. So what are the things that Apollo has done to really advance this journey, which we began 30 years ago? I think the first is...
It gives me great pleasure to be over here on the launch of India's first AI Precision Oncology Center. To grace this occasion, we have the MD of Apollo Hospital, Ms. Sunita Reddy, who just spoke about the endeavors that they have been able to achieve in the last more than 50 years of Apollo, since 1980, 40 years, more than 40 years since Apollo was started by her father, one of the most renowned people in healthcare, Dr. Pratap Reddy. So, and also all the other people from the Apollo group on the dais, all the doctors and all the media friends. So first of all, I want to thank them for having chosen Bangalore to launch this first of a one-of-a-kind facility in India. And I think it's a great initiative for the city also, that to be able to provide good healthcare, cutting-edge healthcare to our people, not only in Karnataka, but of course, who wants to use this healthcare facility from across India or even across the world. Apollo has got a good presence in Bangalore and in Karnataka. They've got many hospitals which have been up and running and have earned a very good name with good doctors and good healthcare facilities. And it is one of the leading hospital brands in India, if not the most leading brand in India. And so they have a great history. And we just heard the MD Sangeeta Reddy speaking and how her father, after the Apollo mission came to India, used the Apollo name because he must have been inspired by what happened in the US and came back to India and started this venture of bringing good healthcare and modern healthcare to our country. And cancer, and how we can see that people who are afflicted by it can get the best treatment that is available across the world over here, and to be able to recover from it. The minute anyone hears or gets the information that they've got cancer, or one of their relatives or close friends have got cancer, it's a very traumatic experience because cancer is got like, the word itself has become synonymous with so many things that can go bad in an uncontrolled manner. And I mean, it takes a huge toll on anyone. It's like a physical toll. The emotional well-being is also, is a problem. And then, of course, the financial impact for anyone, families who undergo this cost of treatments are expensive. So it takes, I mean, it is definitely something which nobody wants to hear, that, someone's got cancer. But, of course, it's becoming very common. I think every family will have someone or the other who is either has suffered and recovered, or is suffering, or has suffered and even passed away. That Apollo has just put out over here is something which is unaffordable to most people of Karnataka. But it doesn't mean that we shouldn't have it. We should have it. Because today's expensive treatment is tomorrow's treatment for all. Because the cost keeps going down. So we should be at the cutting edge. We should be having all these facilities. And for us, what is the primary concern is how we can prevent or screen and catch them at an early age or at an early stage, so that the treatment becomes less expensive and easier to handle, and also the curative part of it also becomes more possible. So that becomes our main goal. So just now Sangeeta ji was saying about our intention of cervical cancer. We are still working on it because our first thing is to start screening breast cancer, cervical cancers, and oral like mouth cancers. If we can catch them early, so we are trying to put in a program where we start screening our people across populations, across the entire regions, and see that if we can identify at an early stage. And if it's caught early, bring it up and bringing it. So it shows how expensive technology is and how it needs huge amount of resources.